Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I wanted to show you my current everyday makeup routine. People have been asking for slightly longer, more chatty videos on YouTube, so I decided to do one that's a little bit longer, more relaxed. I would say to get a drink, maybe a snack, and let's just get ready together. I've also been trying some newer products and they have swiftly made their way into my everyday makeup routine, so that means they're good. The first product is the Victoria Beckham by Augustinus Bader foundation drops. These are ridiculously expensive, but because of all the rave reviews that I've seen, I decided to try them out for myself. I'm using the shade number 5 in light, and I would say it's a really good summer shade for me. It's quite warm, so it's perfect because I am just slightly more tan than usual, but I think if I were to continue using this in the winter months when I don't have a tan, I will need a lighter shade. I've been testing out this foundation for the past week and I can say that it is a beautiful formula. I have combination skin, so I typically get quite oily and shiny throughout the day, and surprisingly, this foundation doesn't get super shiny or oily on me. Usually with my base, I will get quite oily around my nose, but I've noticed that this foundation keeps me looking pretty satiny matte throughout the day, which definitely surprised me because the name foundation drops makes it sound like it's a very glowy, lightweight kind of product, but this actually has really decent coverage. I don't know if you can tell, but that just completely evened out my skin, but my skin still looks like skin. Like, it doesn't look like I'm wearing a mask. It doesn't look like there's a lot of coverage on. I think because the shade is a little bit darker than my face, but it actually matches my body, I can tell that I'm wearing a little bit of foundation, but it's just because of the shade difference and not because of the texture of the product. Also, I hope the lighting in today's video is okay. It's quite a rainy day outside, so it's really gray, even though I'm facing the window. I don't know if that's gonna affect the way that, the colors are gonna come across in the video, but hopefully it's okay. Next, I've been using this Tarte Macaron Sculpt and Bronze Duo. I really, really like this cream side. It's such a silky cream. It's not glowy, it's not sticky. It just has a nice creamy finish, and it blends into the skin so smoothly. And the shade is also perfect. Like, it's not too dark for me, it's also not too light. It perfectly sculpts my face. But if you're looking to compare the shades, I wouldn't say this shade is very cool toned or gray. It's kind of in between a bronzer and contour for me. And I don't mind that because I like to warm up my complexion anyway, even while I sculpt my face. So that's why it's okay. Next, I'm just going to brighten up my skin. I've been loving the Tower 28 SOS Serum Concealer. I kind of forgot about this concealer for a while, but then I've been seeing so many people use it. It just reminded me that I have this concealer too, and I should probably take it out and use it because I do remember really liking it. And after using it for the past week, I do still really like it. The shade that I'm using is in DTLA. Also, if you don't know, all the shade names of all the products that I use is always listed in the description, so you guys can always check out the description if I don't mention it verbally in the video. This is a really nice neutral shade for me. It's not too warm or too cool toned, and it just helps to brighten up my under eyes, but it doesn't look too bright. What sets this concealer apart from the other ones that I've tried, or that I also really like, is that this is a very serum-y texture. So it doesn't feel heavy on the skin, it blends right in. It's really, really hydrating and creamy. So I think if you have dry skin or dehydrated skin, I would highly recommend trying this concealer because it just makes your skin look super hydrated and glowy, and you never get that cakey look with this concealer. Now for blush, I've been testing out this Color Wash Blush Water Tint from Victoria Beckham. I would say I'm not a big fan of this dropper. It's quite hard to press this button, so it's kind of hard to dispense the product, and I'm always so scared that I'm gonna drop this on my shirt, so I have to be super careful. Like, I have to press it quite hard, and then there is a roller ball at the end of this applicator, which allows you to kind of dot it on. And then I just take my blush brush and then tap it into the skin. And you'll see that even though this is a water tint, because it's so liquidy and it looks so red, you'd be worried that it would leave a stain where you first apply it. At least I was scared of that, but this does not do that at all. Like, it kind of feels like an elevated version of the Benefit Benetint. I don't know if you can tell, but it just added like a wash of this flushed color on my cheeks. It's definitely more on the natural side, so it's not going to make you look like you have a lot of blush on. You can definitely build it up though, but I just like how natural it looks, and it just gives you this wash of color, exactly like the name suggests. I also bought the bronzer version of this, so I haven't tried that yet. I'll probably test it out in another video, but this is what the blush tint looks like. I love how natural it looks. It really just makes me look so glowy, and it lasts all day. It looks like the clouds are parting a little, so I'm getting a little bit more light now. So please excuse the lighting change. Now I'm just going to take my concealer pencil. This one is from the same. You guys already know that I love this, so I'm sure it's not a surprise that I'm using this. I'm just gonna cover up any of the little spots that I have on my skin, but the foundation pretty much already evened it out, so I don't really have to do too much. I'm honestly just being like a perfectionist, covering up all these little imperfections that I see. And obviously if I wasn't filming, this process would actually be really, really quick. I usually just do my makeup in 10 to 15 minutes every day. So now that all the creams on my skin is complete, this is what my skin's looking like now. I would say it's looking very perfected, but still on the more natural side. Now I'm going to take my powder, which is the NARS Soft Matte Powder. This is actually the second one that I've gone through. I just love the texture of this powder. It's so finely milled, and it sets my makeup really nicely for the day. And for a pressed powder, I feel like it keeps my skin matte for quite a long period of time. Usually I find that loose powders will keep me matte for longer, but this one is pretty good too. It has a really nice blurring finish. Oh, hi Poppy. People have been commenting on Poppy and Arya at the back. They just love to be super active when I'm filming, or maybe it's just because I'm filming when they're the most active. Now that my powder is all done, I'm gonna move on to the lips. This is the Wonder Skin All Day Lip Stain, and I really like the shade Hush for everyday. I know I've shown the shade Whimsical a lot on my channel, but I love Hush for everyday because it's a little bit more of a natural, neutral brown shade. With this shade, because it's so natural, I can kind of fill in my entire lips with it, and it still looks pretty subtle. Like, it's not gonna look crazy. Now I'm just gonna go on to my brows. This is my Judy Doll brow pencil. I feel like once you find a really good brow pencil, it's hard to try other ones because, like, why do you need to try a new brow pencil? I feel like, or maybe I'm just very low maintenance with my brows. Like, I just like to add a little bit of color and then brush it out. I don't really need to like fill it in too much. But something new that I have added to my brow routine is a brow gel. This is the Benefit Dream Sheen Brow Glaze. I recently received this in PR and I've been loving it. I tested it out when I did my High Rocks race, and seriously, my brows did not budge. I love that it just defines each and every brow hair that I have, and it just makes them look very, very neat. Do I need to use a brow gel every day? Probably not, but since I have it, I have just been adding it to my routine, and I really like the way that my brows look with it. So this is definitely a new addition to my routine. I'm going to tight line my upper lashes right now with the Judy Doll Slim Gel Eyeliner in the shade Milky Brown. And all I do is kind of just wiggle this in between my lashes. It's subtle, like if you compare this eye to this eye, but I just feel like it makes my eyes look a little bit more defined and also makes my lashes look thicker, and who doesn't want that? So just been doing this. And then sometimes I'll curl my lashes, sometimes I'll skip curling my lashes. This is the Judy Doll Curling Iron Mascara. And I use this because it's so waterproof and smudge proof and budge proof. This also holds a curl really well. I love the applicator of it. I know some people don't like it, but for me, I just find that it really helps to press up my lashes to give them a more curled finish. Before, after. Do you guys have a favorite lash side? Because I definitely have a favorite lash side. I feel like my left side lashes are usually a little bit more even, and I feel like I have a bald spot like right in the middle of my right eye. I don't know why I can't get my lashes to grow like right in the middle. I swear you can see it right now. Like there's a little bit of a gap right there. Okay, so this is the eyes completely done. And this is a stain that it leaves behind. I like that it's really subtle. It's just kind of a neutral brownie shade. It's a shade that's going to stay all day. And then to finish everything off, I just like to add a bit of a gloss. This usually changes day to day, but right now I've been loving this Dior Addict Glass Lipstick in the shade Gem Dior 184. And it's just a nice, clear lip gloss stick that has a little bit of shimmer. Super subtle, but I just like that it adds a nice shiny gloss to my lips, and it feels really hydrating, like it doesn't dry out my lips. So that has been my everyday makeup routine, at least for the past week, because I've been testing out so many of these new products. I like that my makeup looks natural, my skin looks pretty even, there's a very natural flush going on my lips. Sometimes I will, curl my lashes or add some eyeshadow, so my eyes will look a little bit more defined compared to now. But this is pretty much my day-to-day makeup. I will speak to you guys soon. Bye.